Hello, friends. This is Brother Reggie Taylor from Answers of Hope with another interesting Bible question. This question is coming from the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 9, and it deals with what my understanding of Daniel chapter 9 and what it means and what it's pointing to. Well, if you turn in the book of Daniel chapter 9, this is a very interesting prophecy. It's actually a continuation from Daniel chapter 8, where Daniel was seeing the vision of the goat and the ram, and where the two of them were butting heads. And as this goat and ram were butting heads, Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, comes and gives the interpretation to Daniel of what these things mean. The ram and the goat representing the Medes and the Persians versus the Greeks. And then there's a horn that comes up representing the fourth kingdom that will come upon the earth. And as Daniel is listening to this, he hears about this 2,300 days that when this comes, then the sanctuary would be cleansed. And as Daniel was listening to this interpretation, he can't handle it and he faints. And so Daniel chapter 9 is a continuation of the interpretation of the vision that Daniel had received. And it's very interesting. If you go to Daniel chapter 9 and verse 25, my interpretation, and I believe that this is the Bible interpretation, and when you read it, Daniel chapter 9 tells us and points us to the Messiah. Let's read. It says here in Daniel chapter 9, verse 25, "Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The streets shall be built again, the wall even in troublous time." And then it says, this is the key, in verse 26, it says, "After 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off." The Bible uses the word Messiah, talking about the coming of the Messiah. So whenever this starting point is, this starting point tells us that from the commandment to restore and to rebuild Jerusalem, that the Messiah, the Prince, shall be, and it's going to be 7 weeks, 62 weeks. So that's a whole bunch of weeks. I think that's 69 weeks. In 69 weeks, the Messiah is going to show up. And it says after 62 weeks, the Messiah is going to be cut off, not for himself, and the people of the Prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end shall be there. And in verse 27, it says, "And he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and oblations to cease." So quickly, to give you an interpretation of what's going on, Jesus, the Messiah, would appear and be anointed as the Messiah, because the word Messiah means anointed, the anointed one. And so Jesus would appear on the scene as the Messiah, being anointed to fulfill prophecy. And then in the middle of that week, and when we look at prophecy, we don't have time to go into it right now, a day is equal to a year. So when Gabriel is interpreting to Daniel what is going to be happening after the commandment is given, that there's going to be 70 weeks or 490 years. It's going to be 490 years that's determined for the Jews to close their probation. And then after that 70 weeks, their probation would be done. They would no longer be the people that God has appointed to deliver the message, but that the message would spread into all the world. And so this 70 weeks that we see Christ appearing on the scene, that Messiah would come, is very interesting, because it also gives us another key that the Messiah has come. It says that the people of the Prince shall come and destroy the city and the sanctuary. Now, at the beginning of the prophecy, it says that the city and the sanctuary would be rebuilt, would be restored. But then, here late in the prophecy, after the Messiah comes, that after he appears on the scene sometime later, that the city and the sanctuary would be destroyed. And friends, if you know anything about history, we know that the temple was rebuilt. The Jews had rebuilt the temple. And if you read in the Gospels, it says it took them 46 years to rebuild the temple. However, in AD 70, the city and the sanctuary was destroyed. So between the time of the rebuilding of the temple and the next destruction of the temple, Jesus Christ had come. The Messiah had come. This prophecy is a prophecy pointing to the Messiah. So friends, when we read Daniel chapter 9, we will know when Christ would and did come back, and he came back right on time. But there's another little interesting tidbit about this passage. A lot of Jews, scholarly Jews, they put a curse. They put a rabbinic curse. It is in their writings that they put a rabbinic curse on reading the book of Daniel, and especially chapter 9. So friends, this is just so deep that God has given us his word, that he has given us this prophecy, and the prophecy has come true exactly as he said. And so, friends of mine, the interpretation here is that Daniel chapter 7, verses 24 through 27 point to the becoming of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. And you can believe his word because this prophecy has come true. And the interesting thing about it is that the temple has never been rebuilt. Since that time, the temple has not been rebuilt. And the prophecy shows us that it was rebuilt, and then Messiah came, and then it was destroyed, and it never says that it was rebuilt again. So friends, you can trust God's word. I tell you, I am so amazed by this prophecy, knowing that the temple has been built and destroyed, and is still destroyed. We know without a shadow of a doubt that the Messiah, Jesus Christ, has come. And that's just profound. And so you can put your money in the bank. You can know this for sure, that Jesus has come and that this prophecy is true. So friends, may God bless you, that you continue to study God's word, and that he will truly, richly bless you, and that he will give you the answer of hope that you need today. May God bless you.